All right. Hello, everyone. Good day. Please confirm you can hear my voice. I'll be anchoring today's data insight session. And for those who are not yet our students, you get to know more about RKY careers. And for our students, you get to have an idea of what you will also be doing at the end of your bootcamp. So quickly, my name is Kemi. Can you use the chat box to introduce yourself, your name, and your present cohort? Once again, I welcome you all to today's Data Insight Day. You get to know about RKY, and also for those who have not yet maybe done their presentations, for you get to have an idea of what you also be doing by the end of your bootcamp. So quickly about RKY Group. Now, RKY Group is a dynamic conglomerate and is dedicated to bridging the gaps and creating opportunities for underrepresented individuals. So it comprises of group of companies, and each of these companies, their goal is to make sure that they create more opportunities for underrepresented individual. And part of the companies that make up this RKY group includes RKY Careers, which is why the company that is hosting today's Data Insight Day, and it's a multi-award winning company that offers practical training and skills on courses like data analysis, business analysis, project management, and other courses. So we also have the apply body. Now we all know that after getting skill, after getting the knowledge, the end goal is to get a job, right? So what we do at apply body is we help with job applications. Maybe you don't have the chance to apply for a job, or you don't even know that there are a certain way that you apply to job, right? So what we do at RKY Career is that we help with job application, we help with CV optimization, we help with cover letter writing, and we also help with interview preparation, because that's what we do at Apply Body. So, and we have the Limitless and Thriving podcast. And here, what we do is we share insights and success stories to empower immigrants. Like, we know that as an entrepreneur or a career profession, in order for you to thrive in your company or to thrive in your career, you need some certain insight, right? You need to be equipped with certain knowledge. And what we do at the Limitless and Thriving podcast, right, is we share insights in order for you to stand out in your career journey. We also have the Limitless and Thriving podcast, Limitless Without Border. And Limitless Without Border is a networking event, right, for career professionals, for entrepreneur. And last year we had over 1,000 participants, right? And it happened in London. And this year we are going to be having it in two different locations. We'll be having, and the dates, we've already announced our date for the London one. We'll be having it on the 27th of June, and for that of Lagos, we'll be having it on August 15th. And as an entrepreneur, as a career professional, the importance of networking. You have to be in the right room, you have to be in the right place. And at this Limitless Without Borders, we house like all those professionals. You also get to hear from people that have excelled in the path that you want to like venture into. So I advise that you follow us on our social media so that we'll update you on information regarding this event. We also have the Immigration Founder Network, and what we do here is that we help aspiring entrepreneur, right? And you go through like series of classes with our CEO herself. She's the one that takes this mentorship incubation class, and she help aspiring founders. Like maybe you have an idea, you have something that you want to build. She help you she help you that you scale that idea from just an ordinary idea to a liable six-figure business. Then we also have the RKY digital solution, and what we do here is we help with mobile app. We help with mobile application, web development. Maybe you have like an idea, you have this mobile app you want to build. always have this idea, you can just contact us at RKY Digital Solution, and we help you in building this website. We also do data analysis service and consulting, project consulting, and all these company makes about the RKY group. Now, the reason why we are here, which is RKY Career, this Data Insight Day is an event that it's under the RKY Careers. Now, the RKY Careers is a multi-award winning educational company that empowers international students and professionals to excel in the competitive job market. So what we do here is we train people with the skill that is needed to stand out in the global market, right? So we train in courses like project management, data analysis, every skill that we know that once you have this skill, it will put you, it will make you to like to position you well in the global market. That's the skills that we teach at RKY Careers. And over the years, we have had over 2,005 success stories of students that have actually took our course and they got their desired job. And in fact, some of these jobs that they get even come with visa sponsorship, right? And over the years, right, because of the value that we create at RKY Careers, because of how we have able to bridge that gap and position immigrants in the global market, we have been awarded with several awards. Like in 2024, we got the Global Recognition Award. In 2000 and also in 2024, we got the Innovation Entrepreneurship of the Year, and then 2025 we got Career Support Organization of the Year, and so many awards that we have gotten over the years. Now, it's not possible for me to speak about all this without speaking about our founder, the brain box behind RKY Careers, behind RKY Group. And it's the person of Rukayat Alabi, and she's a multi-award winning entrepreneur and the founder of RKY Career. And it was founded out of her passion. So being an immigrant herself, coming down to the UK, she faced so much challenge, like she faced so much resistance. She saw that most of the experience she has gathered back in Nigeria when she when she went to the UK, some of those experiences were not recognized, and it was just like a very tough time for her. And so in order to solve this problem, she sat down to create she create a solution to solve this problem. Having experienced the problem herself firsthand, she went ahead to create like a liable solution. Okay, how can immigrants be positioned better? How can they break into this global market, because it's far different from what they are used to from their own in their own country, right? So she sat down, she thought about a way to solve this solution, and that is why she put together all this company. And over the years, because of this, she has been awarded with several awards. Like in 2024, she was part of the top 25 advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion in the global UK. And also in 2024, she got the Outstanding Coach of the Year. And also in 2024, she
Hi, I think you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Kemi, you're still muted.
Sorry, when did I go unmuted? When did I get muted?
Training and services.
All right. Oh, sorry about that. But can you still see my screen?
No,
No,
not
let me
yet.
just share. All right, can you?
Yeah, we can
All
see
right.
it.
Sorry about that. I think I could not see the chat, so maybe. All right. Thank you so much for calling my attention to that. Um. Okay. So where did you?
You can continue from the training and services. Yeah.
Training and services. Is it this slide or
The one after this one. The
this
one
is?
after the counter. Yeah, this one. Yeah.
All right. Oh, thank you. All right, thank you so much. Oh yeah, yes, as I said, so the RKY careers, right? So what we do here is we equip um students with the necessary skill they need to like thrive in the global market. And over times we've had over 2005 success stories like of students that got passed through our bootcamp and got their desired job, and some of these this job even came with visa sponsorship. And over the years, because of the value that we offer at RKY Careers, we have been granted several awards. Like in 2024, we got the Innovative Entrepreneur of the Year. In 2025, we got the Career Support Organization of the Year. And also in 2025, we got the UK Tech Startup finalists, and so other many more awards that we have gotten, right? And it's not possible for me to speak about RKY Careers or RKY Group without speaking about our founder, right? So RKY Careers is founded by Rukayat Alabi, and she's a multi-award winning entrepreneur and founder of the RKY Careers, and it was founded out of her passion. So her herself being an immigrant moving to the UK and facing so many challenges, facing so many obstacles, getting that some of even the experience that she had in Nigeria were not recognized in the UK, right? So having facing all those challenges, she crafted out a lasting solution to that. And so out of her passion, right, and out of experiencing this problem firsthand, she created a solution to how can immigrants can be positioned better in the global market. How can they not face all the challenges that she had to face. And over time, because of the great work she has done, she has gotten so many recognition, right, and many awards. And part of this award was in 2024 she got advancing diversity, equality and inclusion in global UK. And in 2024 she got the outstanding coach of the year. In 2024 also she officially got accepted into the Forbes official coaches council, and so many awards that she has gotten. And she has gone to found other successful companies like Apply Body, RKY Digital Solution. And one thing is that all these company that she founded, the solution or their vision is just to solve a single problem, to position immigrants, right, to position immigrants better in the global market, right, in order for them not to face the challenges that she had to experience when moving to the UK. And so our training and services, so part of the courses or the courses that we offer, we have data analysis and business intelligence, project management and business analysis bootcamp. We have the advanced Microsoft Excel and PowerPoint. We have Scrum Master, product owner and product manager. And we also have the digital marketing, and our digital marketing is all encompassing. You get to learn about SEO, PPC, email marketing, social media marketing and search engine marketing. And we also have compliance, that's KYC and AML. And the good thing or the beautiful thing about our training is that any of this bootcamp that you registered for, it comes with some perks, which is CV optimization, career advisory, interview preparation, LinkedIn optimization, full career rebrand, and business coaching. So any of this training, it comes with this. So you get your CV optimized, you get your LinkedIn optimized, you also have interview preparations, everything that you need to in order to stand out or to be ready in the global market, right? And our IT solutions, that's our tech and digital solution, include mobile app development, change management, website development, and IT training. So in case you have this idea you've always had, you have this website that you always wanted to build, or you have this mobile app that you feel, oh, it's going to solve this problem or this pinpoint, you can reach out to our the IT solution arm of the company, and we would get to bring your vision to life for you. And then we now have our work experience lab. Now over time we've got to know that for some people, they already have this idea, they already have the theoretical knowledge of some of these courses. Maybe when they were back in Nigeria, they were digital marketers, they were product managers, so they already have the theoretical knowledge. But what they need is the practical knowledge. They need work experience, because some companies, like in the UK, they want you to have maybe like a UK work experience before they even consider you. And that is why we have this tech accelerator program. So what we do here is you get to work on real life solution. You get to work on the practical aspect of the work, right? And after the end, you get to have a UK experience, right, on your CV. So that's what our tech accelerator program is about. So if you maybe have the theoretical knowledge more, and what you need is the practical aspect, you need the practical aspect, right? Then I recommend you look into registering for our tech accelerator program, right? And then our collaborative tool. Now every company has its collaborative tool. Some use Asana, some use Slack. For us, we use Basecamp, right? So Basecamp is what we use as our collaborative tool here. And the good thing about this is that once you're able to navigate Basecamp, you'll definitely be able to navigate any collaborative tool that your future company may be using, either Click or Asana or Slack, right? Once you're able to find your way around the Basecamp, you'll be able to find your way around every other thing. So yes, now I'm moving on to the business of the day. We have our data analysis students. They have passed through their boot camp, and they have gone ahead to like work on projects, right? And they would be presenting today. I'm super excited about this, because like they really put their effort and their planning it. And so these are our students, and the data they work on, like it's cut across three industries. So we have the finance team, we have the tech team, and we have the health and care team. And they would be exhibiting their project. They'll be showing us what they work on, the real life problem that they work on, using the skill that they got, the data analysis and business intelligence knowledge that they gain. Yeah, and we also have our esteemed judges that would get to like hear how they present and give them feedback. Where we have Olufemi Michael, and he's a data analyst at NHS Counter Fraud Authority. Olufemi, are you on the call? You
Yeah,
can
I'm right
speak.
here.
All right. Good afternoon. It's good to have you. We also have our Chinaza. Chinaza is a digital insight analyst. Hi, Chinaza. Are you on the call?
Hi, yes, I'm on the call. Hi,
Hello.
Kemi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Trust you are good. Lastly, we have Kelvin. Kelvin is a junior analytics engineer. Hi, Kelvin. Good afternoon. Are you on the call?
Yeah, hi, Kemi. Yeah, I'm here.
It's so nice to have you on the call. So these are our esteemed judges, and they would be giving our students their feedback. So right about now, we'll be going to our presentation, and the first team that we'll be presenting is the finance team. Finance team, I hope you are here. And their project will be presented by Emirile. I hope I pronounced your name well. Emirile Smart would be the person presenting for Project Finance. Are you here?
I'm here, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So right about now, I think you can have the stage with your presentation. I'll stop sharing so you can share your screen.
All right, just a moment for me to share my screen.
All right. Thank you very much. This project team, they're super amazing. I'm telling you, like the whole dedication that they put into putting this together, the late nights, the meeting back to back, and also they were very collaborative. Like it was really a great teamwork. Like they had to come together, work on this project, even how tedious and taxi it was, but they were able to like come up with what was needed. Like I'm super proud of team Project Finance.
Thank you very much.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes,
Hello?
we can see your screen, Mas.
Okay, thank you very much. Like the facilitator introduced, my name is Smart. That's my middle name, so that's way easier to call me by. And I'll be presenting for the finance team today. So basically, this team we go by the name the Quantum Sphere team, and our project is based on an analysis of a loan portfolio data. So basically, facilitator, could you please, it's 10 minutes, right?
Yes, it's 10 minutes for your presentation.
Okay. All right, thank you. So, like I have just said, our analysis is based on the loan portfolio data. And before I go ahead with our presentation, I'd just like to introduce members of this team to you. It consists of 7 analysts. We have among me, Bashiru, Aminat, Rabiu, Adeze, Abigail, and my humble self. So a group of 7 analysts that worked on this particular project. And we'll be presenting what we found out from this data today. So here, I'll do a bit of an introduction. So the Quantum Sphere Consulting team, so we're probably a group of analysts from a company that helps solve complex challenges and in order to optimize performance of our clients. So we basically focus on management consultancy, and the aim is just to help clients drive their growth and operational efficiency. So today, what we have done is work on a project consisting of a loan portfolio data, and the essence is just to help this particular client optimize what their benefit from their loan portfolio data. So what they do is give our loans, and they've given us their data to see what we can help them do out of this data just to make them more efficient and more profitable. So here we've got our objectives. So basically we are to help them assess their default risk, help them enhance their risk management, and optimize their pricing strategy as well. So we also hope to help them strengthen their credit policies, improve the performance of their credit portfolio as well. And of course, at the core of this project is to help these clients take data-driven decisions. So we've used a couple of tools for this particular project. We use the SQL Server to extract our data, and we used Excel to clean the data and do some basic analysis. We did use Power BI to visualize the data, and for the presentation today, we're using PowerPoint. All right, just an overview of the data that we analyzed. The data that we analyzed consisted of 45,000 loan records that the client had provided us. So what we did was, as you can see on the first row, you can see you've got 45,000 all through. The implication of this is that we have 45,000 records, and for each predictor variable, you can see the age, you can see the income of the individuals, you can see the loan amount, the interest rate. These are the predictor variables, like what they look into in as to whether to give out these particular loans. And the reason we have 45,000 is this basically tells us that we do not have any missing data. Okay, so if we had less or more, that would basically tell you that there's a missing data. So, but in this case, we've been able to clean up the data, and everything we've got here is same. So, and we did a bit of a descriptive statistics here. As you can see, I'll just take the first one here. You can see that the mean of the age is 27.7. So basically, the average age of all our borrowers is about 27 years old, and the average income of our borrower is about £80,000. The loan amount, you can see the average there as well. So everything we've got here is basically descriptive statistics that we did using Excel. So, and like I already told you, this data basically captures the demographics of all the borrowers that the client has in their books. So here I have my first visual here. So we'll be going through. If you see my slide, this very first slide, you'll be seeing I've got 4 visuals here. Before the visuals, you'll see a couple. Before the visuals, you'll see that I've got a couple of information there. The count of loan application is 45,000, like I told you earlier. The total number of record was 45,000. The total loan amount is about £431 million, and the average loan amount per person averages about £9,600. And the total income of all the borrowers is about 3.6 billion, and the average credit score for our borrowers is 633. So for the first visual, you see I've got the slicers to my left hand side. If you can see, you see a couple of info there: debt, consolidation, education. These are slicers. And for the first visual, you see the loan defaults. So what this basically tells us that, there's about an even split between those who have defaulted on their loans and those who have not defaulted. So about 23,000 have defaulted of the 45,000, while 22,000 did not default. So that was basically an interesting insight. We wondered why we had about half of all borrowers defaulting on their loan. If you take a look at the second visual, you see the intent of the loan. This is basically what each borrower used the amount that they borrowed for. First, you see education having the highest amount there, and you see medical followed by venture. So this gives us like an insight as to what the various individuals used their loans for. And of course, you can begin to then guess why we had this high number of defaults. If you have borrowed money to school, if you have borrowed money for medical treatments, if you have borrowed money as a first-time business person, there's a high tendency for you to default on your loan. So this basically is already giving us insight as to why we had this high default. And then you go to the next visual, you see home ownership by loan amount. So this basically tells us the home ownership status of each borrower. And here we see that rent and mortgage is about 90% of our total borrowers. This basically explains that, if you're renting and if you're paying mortgage, your disposable income is lower, and there's a high tendency for you to default on your loan as well. So these are insights that we've been able to bring out of this data for our clients, and it's understanding why we're beginning to then understand why we had this high number of defaults. The implication is that they should then start looking at why they give people who are renting and people who are mortgage so much more, and why people who own their houses or people who have other accommodation arrangements got less. I'll take you straight to my next visual, and here we have the demographics of our borrowers. You can see from the first visual that of the 45,000 borrowers we have in our 45,000 borrowers we analyzed, we can see that those who have a degree, a first degree, the bachelor's degree, they got the highest loan amount, followed by those who have an associate degree, and then those who have a high school qualification. Then we can then see that those with a master's degree and a doctorate degree got the lowest amount. This is information that we were able to look into, and you can see on the next slide, you can see the amount of money that each of these categories got. Bachelor's degree got the highest loan. Sorry, I'm talking about the income now by education. You can see that the bachelor's degree, their income is way higher, followed by the associate, and then high school. So if these three categories of people have the highest income, then you can then understand why they also have why they were given why they got the highest amount of loan as well. Then you look at the employment experience by age groups. You could see that those who are 65 and above are more experienced. Of course, that's understandable. And then you can see that declines according to the lower your age, the lower your experience by employment, and that's normal. There's nothing unusual with that particular visual. Then we can see the income by age groups as well. We can see that those between 26 and 35 earn the highest amount. Of course, these are active working people, so it's not surprising that this visual shows that they also earn the highest amount, followed by those between 18 and 25. And then you can see that those between 51 and 65 years and above, they earn the lowest. Of course, they are retiring, so we expect that their income level would decline as well. On my next visual here, we did a bit of credit and risk analysis. You can see the default rate and the credit history. You can see this is a bit of mixed insight we got here. We could see that ordinarily, the longer your credit history, the lower your default rate should be. But we could see that we had spikes, especially around the 20 years and between 25 and 30, we had spikes around there. But just before the 25 mark, we could then see that default rate was lower, for those who have, very long credit history, as much as 25. So this basically tells us that more analysis is required to then understand why these spikes occurred around these points. And then if you see the visual just below that, you have the average credit score by loan outcome. So this basically tells us that for those who defaulted, those who didn't default, their credit score was around 633. And for those who defaulted, their credit score was 632. So this was an interesting insight that we got from this data. So you could then tell that credit score alone is not sufficient to determine whether a borrower would default or not, because this is just a difference of one, and then we have them almost at those that defaulted and those that didn't default, sharing the spoils at about 50% each. So we did go ahead to do like a distribution of this particular credit score. We wanted to understand what was happening. So this is more or less like a distribution. You could see that looking at this particular visual, this is skewed. This is a negatively skewed distribution. You could see that majority of the loans we gave were around those that had credit scores of between 600 and above. So this is understandable. Ordinarily, the higher your credit score, the more likely you are to get a loan. So this kind of conforms with what happens in the business world. So they haven't done anything wrong in this regard. This just goes to show that credit score wasn't the reason why they had so much default, and other reasons could have caused this. So, and lastly, you could see the loan analysis and performance here. We could see the default rate by loan intent. We could see that those for education, medical, and probably first-time venture business people, they had the highest default rate. That's understandable, like I explained at the beginning. And then you see this scatter graph here. So this kind of shows the relationship between the loan amount and the loan interest rate. This is more or less like a weak relationship, but you can see the trend with the trend line that we fitted into the scatter graph. You could see that the higher the loan amount, the higher the interest rate. That's something we need to look more into as well. You could also see the average loan percent of income by default and not defaulted loan. You could see that those that defaulted are around 0.2 and those that did not default is around 0.12. And just below that, we have the loan distribution by age group. So you could see for those that have lower age, you could see their default rate was a bit high, and then that reduced as for higher age. For the higher age group, you could see that spike there shows that the kind of their default rate was high. So that's something our clients need to pay close attention to. And in rounding up, we came up with a bit of recommendation for our clients. And the first of those recommendations is for them to tighten affordability limits. Basically, they should reduce approvals and loan sizes for those where they are for borrowers that the ratio of their loan to their income is very high. So we recommended that they should look into probably reducing that, because of course, if the ratio of your loan to your income is high, the tendency for you to default is there, because you'll likely not be able to pay back. And then we also recommended that they pay close attention to the intent of their borrowers. We asked that they add stricter checks and limits for higher risk loan purposes. For instance, those that are taking loans for medical purposes or to consolidate their debt, we saw that they are more likely to default. So we recommended that they put some level of strict checks to this group of borrowers. And then we also recommended that they improve risk-based pricing. We saw in one of our slides that the interest rates were similar across loan intents. So basically, we want our clients to then look at maybe giving low interest rates for those intents that are likely to default, and for those that are likely to default, probably price those particular loans at a higher interest rate. And then we also recommended stronger controls for less stable group borrowers. Since we saw that loan was concentrated among renters and mortgage holders, and like I said earlier, this group of people are likely to default, because by the time you pay your rent, you pay your mortgage, your disposable income is lower, and with other needs coming in, you are more likely to default as well. And lastly, we recommended multi-factor risk scoring. We did see that the difference in credit score for those who defaulted and those who didn't default was just 1, which basically tells us that credit score wasn't the reason or is not enough to determine those who would default. So using other factors would help this client to then make better decisions with respect to their to the loans that they approve. We did recommend that they should look at the ratio of their loan to income, reduce it where it is too high, probably set a benchmark, look at the intent, maybe give more to those who are probably already existing business people rather than having a higher concentration of those loans on those that are schooling and for those that are going for medical tourism or all of that, and then the credit history length as well. It would also suffice that we also recommended that using other scientific means like carrying out statistical analysis of predictor variables that basically explains which of these variables is more likely to lead in default, could also help this client in taking better decisions. And just in a minute, I would, having given you a brief of what we discovered from this data, would like to thank ROKY. Basically, a number of us came in here not knowing how to use these tools. Some of us use these tools for the first time, and having come through this journey, we could say that a number of us have earned the title of data analyst just by going through ROKY. We learned all the tools that are required to become better data analysts. For those of us who are already analysts, and for those who are just coming in for the first time, the experience was wow. The patience with those the facilitators who took these classes was commendable. It wasn't just about the classes. The fact that they had sessions where you could come again to ask personal questions, gain clarity, was commendable as well. One tool that for those who are just joining us from the outside, one tool we didn't talk about here was the use of Python. That was something that we were happy to see as well, and majority of us now have at least basic experience of how to use that particular tool for data analysis as well. So we want to thank ROKY for the experience from day one to this day. We appreciate you guys, and we appreciate every one of you. So that's a thank you from us. I apologize if I have spent much time. Over to you, facilitator.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was so much insightful. Thank you so much for carrying us the journey. So quickly, we'll be getting feedback from our judges, starting from Olufemi. So any comment, any feedback from you?
Yeah, that was a very good presentation. I like the flow. The flow of the presentation was very good. Obviously, the most important part of starting the kind of presentation is going through the objectives, which were very much clearly outlined right from the start. I like the use of the card visuals. They are always very essential. Just giving summarizations to some of the aspect of the data, which was also very good. A lot of the visuals were very relevant in terms of the objective that is being achieved or that is being worked towards, which is very, very good. I like the switch between different kind of visuals. You are using the appropriate visuals where you needed to show like outliers. I sort of use like a scatter plot. You need to compare between different metrics within the data. These are bar charts, which is good, and also you enabled us to be able to, if anyone wanted to drill down further, there were sliders for that, for anyone looking to drill down a bit more, which is all very good. Just a couple of things that could have been made better, and I enjoyed the recommendation. Again, they were very relevant to the objective. But just a couple of things. Basically, I'd like to believe that there were a couple of limitations to the data. So the data in terms of loan portfolio the data, I'm guessing, did not have a few things. So it's always good to let your stakeholders know what the data is lacking in case that data is actually available and you were not provided. So a couple of the demographics information was not there. The period for this loans, the times they were given out, like a period breakdown, was not there. Yeah, I mean, apart from that, also it's always very nice to see if you can label the axis of your visuals, because sometimes the description of the visual is not enough for some of these non-technical stakeholders. They want to see everything, and just have a look and they can understand exactly what they are looking at. Apart from that, those are just like crossing the I's, dotting the T's kind of feedback. But it was a very good presentation.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah. So Chinaza, any feedback from you? Chinaza, are you here?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can.
Okay, so Michael has given lots of feedback on the work already. But then to the team, Quantum Sphere, you guys did an amazing work. Like the presenter, smart. I love the way you know carried us along through the presentation and all of that. And also, I like your report or the presentation structure as well. You starting with some of the basic details of the data set, right? That was really, really good. And also the recommendation session where you were able to interpret those numbers into strategic recommendations for the business. That's something really, really interesting. And I think the other feedback, Michael has done justice to that. So yeah, thank you to the team. That's all from me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chinaza. Kelvin, are you there? We'd like to get your feedback.
Yeah. So yeah, great presentation actually from Smart. Like I love his choice of words. Like it was really nice. Like so like I was listening to one biggest part like that. Like his choice of was really nice. So great presentation and nice work from the team. The only thing like the other judges said I agree with them. The only thing I kind of like spotted was what's it called? The presentation was too worded. So there were too many words in the presentation. So it's now looked like a report, not kind of like a presentation. Because for presentation, it's kind of like they just want to, most stakeholders, especially where I work, so they just want to see like the summary of the summary. So in a report, you can lay more emphasis, bring in more visuals, and also in the visuals were very nice. Like the first judge said, really, really nice. But the filters were not necessary in the visuals. Like for me, I feel they were necessary because it's not functioning and it's just a presentation. So you could just bring out the bar chart, the column chart, and all the charts that they use, which is really nice. But otherwise, really, really nice presentation. I did enjoy. He was well articulated. His choice of words, like really, really nice. Even the fact that it was a little bit worded, he still carried us along, and I was still like really, really, really interested to hear what he's saying and like follow up. So really, really nice, especially for the presenter. He's a good presenter, like really, really nice. Yeah, that's it for me.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Smart. Thank you for that. And to the whole project Finance. Well done. Okay, I think we have somebody's hand up. Fidelis. Fidelis,
Hi,
your
good
hand.
evening. I have a question. I don't know if I can ask. Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask, I don't know, maybe I missed it, I want to know, were you able to calculate the rate of the defaulters and their education level? There was a place where you mentioned graduate, postgraduate, doctorate, associate, and all that, right? Were you able to calculate the rate of default against their education level? Were you able to do that?
Yeah, we had a tool that our facilitators took us through in Excel. It's called Pivot. That particular tool would help you see all of this. We just didn't want to, because it's a very short presentation, we didn't want to fill it up with so much. So Pivot table would easily give you that. I don't know if it was something I could show, I could have just shown it to you. With pivot table, you could easily just bring out all of the education level of all the borrowers, and then you would see that education also had the highest in terms of those who defaulted. I think it was about 9,000 of the, followed by those who also borrowed for medical reasons. So with Pivot, that would, by the time you put it into visual, you would be able to easily see in terms of percentage, if that's what you mean, or if you're going to put it in ratio now, you could easily just what the trend looks like, if that's what you're asking for.
Yeah, so education level played a major impact on the rate of default. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is those who borrowed for the purpose of education.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in terms of loan intent, yeah, we are not talking about, education was in two facets. For those who borrowed for educating themselves or for education purpose, is different from looking at the education level of the borrowers themselves. So those were two different things I spoke about.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Fidelis. Any other question for Smart? Also, let's take more questions so that we can let them go. Any other question for the finance team?
Yeah, I have a question.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, Smart. Well
Hi.
done. That's a good presentation. Yeah, from we coming up, we are looking forward to this, and for us, it's a good one. So the my question is, you talk about those borrowing for education, and in the recommendation, what do you guys recommend for those borrowing for education and they are not able to, they are default, so they are not able to pay back? What recommendation are you giving due to the data?
Yeah, if you look at the first recommendation, about the first or second, we recommended that there should be stricter controls around the intent for borrowing. This data showed that this particular client that we consulted for, their borrowers was concentrated around those that are borrowing for education, those that are borrowing for medical, and those that are borrowing for debt consolidation, like those that are borrowing to pay back another money that they borrowed elsewhere, probably because they couldn't pay. So that kind of explains why the default rate was high. So our recommendation was for the client to see how they could then reduce or rethink the mix of their portfolio in terms of these various intents, right? So because having a higher concentration of borrowers for those particular intents for education, medical reasons, and first-time venture business owners, it kind of explained why we had a lot of defaulters as well. Because if you borrowed to go to school and you graduated and you haven't gotten a job, or you haven't gotten a high-paying job enough for you to start paying back, you're likely to default on your loan. So we recommended that they should rethink that particular strategy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much. Any other question before we move to the next presenter, the next team that will be presenting? Do we have any other question? All right. So thank you so much, Project Finance. Thank you so much, Smart.
Thank you.
So right about now, let me share my screen to the. Right. So we're moving on to the next team presenting, which is health and care team. And our presenter, and the project will present by Vivian and Mobutu. I hope I pronounce your name well. By Vivian and Mobutu. They'll be presenting for the health and care team. Hello, are you on the call, Vivian?
Yes, I am.
All right. So so they'll be presenting now. This team, they all did amazing. I'm telling you, even this cohort, like the whole cohort, they are such an amazing persons. The whole work that they had to put in to do this and still coming up with something great. Like I'm really, really proud of them right away. So we'll be having their presentation now and they'll be getting feedback and also questions. So right about now, Vivian and Mobutu, you can take it over. I've stopped sharing my screen.
All right, thank you so much. Let me share mine. Please let me know when you can see mine.
No.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we can see
Hello.
us.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So we are Project Diamond. We are doing a health report, cohort 16, and I am proud to say that I have amazing team members because they say teamwork makes the dream work. We have Mobutu, Olabisi, Olubumi, and myself, Vivian. So I'll be taking us through the agenda for today. We'll be talking about the data itself, how we visualized it, what we're recommending, our experience in this bootcamp, and also your feedback. Introducing the team, we're using the Core Success Medical Center, which provides healthcare services basically to outpatients only. They look at the medical or the surgical treatments, basically everything that has to do with health services. And our objective today is providing insights to guide the public health policy, and also for resource allocation, we'll be assessing the mortality trends between 1970 till 2010. We are also looking at identifying the high burden populations. Also, you use different systems for this presentation. We started with SQL. This is where we extracted the data, we analyzed data, we moved to Excel for transforming, we all visualized in Power BI, and we're presenting in PowerPoint. We'll be starting off with the global mortality trends. Our key indicators are the total number of deaths, which is 949 million, the average death rates per 100,000, which was at around 7,000. The number of countries that we analyzed is a total of 187, and the count of years, like I did say earlier, is 5, which is 1970, 1980, 1990, 2000, and 2010. Looking at the total number of deaths by age group, we had to group it by elderly, adult, neonatal, and then child. We can see that the elderly here has the highest, 225 million, followed by adult. This shows that there has been more like an aging and chronic health conditions in later life, and they are the age group that is being affected in this. We can also look at the trends from 1970 to 2010, we can see an increase from 173 million up until 211 million. We can say that this is highly driven by basically population growth, rather than we saying is short-term fluctuations. We are looking at the growth here. So we looked at the global average debt rate and the debt rate trends by age group over time. Looking at this visualization, we can see that there has been a decline. Now we need to be aware that there is a difference between the global total number of debts and the average debt rate. The total number of debts is basically talking about the burden, while the global average debt rate is talking about more like the risk. And we can see that there has been a decline. We can attribute this to more like better health care, vaccines being in place, because we know that back then in 1970 we didn't have improved healthcare. So at this point in time, we can see that there is a decline, which shows that there has been better nutrition, there is now safer childbirth, and so forth. Looking at breaking down in age group over time, we can see that the elderly still has the highest when it comes to debt rate, followed by the older age group. This still reflects the impact of chronic and age-related conditions. Basically, overall, this shows that the mortality risk varies significantly by age group, and that there should be a long-term improvement across life course. However, the early childhood and the neonatal population still has a pronounced gain observed. We also looked at the age-specific vulnerability and the sex-based differences in mortality. Now, we can see neonatal having the highest, 53,000, followed by the elderly. This does not mean that they are the largest, population group. This shows that newborns face the highest risk of dying, right? We also looked at the based on female and male. We can see that the female, which is 85 million, and the male, which is 155 million. We can see the disparity. We can see that the male has the highest number, followed by the elderly. The male still has the highest number of deaths. This shows that something has to, along the line, there should be more, not just more like a sole focus on the male, but there should be some sort of policies that would help reduce the death rates, in the female. Also, we looked at the number of deaths by age group and sex. We can see here that the elderly has the highest, and we can see that the female for the elderly is the highest, and this cuts across the number of deaths as well for all the age groups, for the adult, the child, the neonatal, the infant, the adolescent. We can see that the female, just a little bit of difference, the female has the highest. We also looked at the sex distribution of deaths in the most vulnerable age group. We can see that also we picked 80 plus years because the elderly has the highest. We can also see that the female has the highest, 23 million, while the male has the followed by the male, which is 15 million. We also looked at the number of deaths by age group. The elderly also has the highest, which is 225 million, followed by the adults. This also still shows that it's age-related conditions, and this has to also be put into consideration or into the policies. We now looked at the average death rates based on the gender, and we looked at the difference. If we remember, the KPI shows around 7,000 average death rates per 100,000, which is what this still shows. This basically means that for neonatals, like I did say earlier, it's not just about the population size. The population size also means that the neonat has the they face the highest risk of dying. This could be based on childbirth or healthcare availability at that point in time. And also for the elderly, we can see that they are the ones that are also under the neonates. We could see that this can be because of the age-related conditions. This is also followed by infants and also followed by the adults, the child, and the adolescent. So we focused on the geographical hotspots. We wanted to understand how it has cut across the different countries and continents. We picked 1 to 4 years age group. If you can see here, the magnitude of the circle, it shows, it reflects the magnitude of the death rate. It shows how it has much affected it. We can see that some are small as some are large. We have larger magnitude in sub-Saharan Africa. We have lesser in South America, North America, Australia, and Asia. This shows that, there is difference in healthcare accessibility, the nutrition, the sanitation, the vaccination coverage. It just shows that sub-Saharan Africa needs to be properly focused on. We also looked at the trends in the neonatal death rate in selected high burden country. So we selected Afghanistan, and we could see there has been from 1970 it was 808,000. There has been a bit of a decline. It got to 200. It became a bit steady, but it still declined in 2010. This shows that the neonat death rate in Afghanistan, there has been more or less a steady improvement in early life healthcare. However, despite this, in Lesotho, we also picked the top 10 countries with the highest death rate in 2010. We can see that Lesotho has the highest, followed by Central African Republic. This shows that there has been more like a significant global health challenges. However, at the end of the day, we can see here that there has been, that progress is still possible, and that the neonatal mortality remains a serious public health issue in many countries. We now decided to put a comparison between developed and developing countries, just to see if there has been, if it's based on just the healthcare accessibility or if it's still age related. We picked India as the developing country, and we picked United Kingdom as the developed country. With what we can see, the elderly has the highest, 33 million, whilst it's still the same in United Kingdom. This shows that it's still a problem of age-related conditions. However, it doesn't mean that the other age groups do not have their own fair share. We can see adults has 24 million, followed by the neonatal. So this, still reflects a better child survival rates and higher life expectancy for the United Kingdom. We can see that United Kingdom doesn't have, for the neonates, it shows that there has been more improvement in the healthcare, but India is still struggling majorly when it comes to the neonates. So what are we recommending at the end of this? We are trying to recommend for prioritization on maternal and early life healthcare in high burden countries, just like we could see in for India and other high burden countries. There should be more maternal care strengthening. There should be more skilled birth support and early life interventions. We could also recommend the fact that the elderly, there has been a high mortality rate in elderly as well, especially the male population. This shows that we should try to have a more targeted preventions, like lifestyle interventions and basically early screening, just to confirm what exactly could be the reason why the male is higher as well. There should also be more funding to high debt rates, or basically look at mirror what the developed countries are already doing in order to put it in the the developing countries, just to have a more better situations. We also looked at the data quality check. We could see that there has been some missing or inconsistent records across some countries. We would recommend for improved surveillance and reporting systems, just so to help us give more accurate analysis and stronger policy decisions. We also consider the trend analysis shows overall declines in debt rates, but progress remained uneven across regions. So this would help the policy makers. When there is a consistent monitoring, it would help the policy makers to assess, intervention effectively and adjust strategies as time goes on. So our experience at the bootcamp, I would say that we are actually really grateful to RKY Careers, because without having this experience, we didn't really actually know much when it comes to data analysis. When it comes to the extraction, we're able to learn about the visualizing, the problem solving, how we can extract data to for better decision making, and also collaboration and teamwork. And for the fact that we've had this bootcamp, we know that we are already ready to face the the whole jump hunting. And this also has taught me personally, it has taught me the technical skills, and I know that I can say the same for my team members as well. We putting heads together just to make sure that we get the formulas right, just to make sure that we get the functions right. And I just want to say a very big thank you to RKY Careers and to my team members. Even though we're just 4, but we're still able to make it work, like we have the high numbers. So thank you so much, and thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Wow, thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you so much. Like, I just keep wondering the amount of work that you guys put into to make this, right? From even the slide, your slide is so nice. Yeah, well done to the team, well done to you. So quickly I'll get feedback from our judges. Chinasa, are you there?
Hi. Yes, I'm here. The presentation was beautiful. Well done to the health team. And, you guys did lots of work to be able to put this together. The presenter, you're able to I'm even wondering, how are you guys able to put all of this work together within the short period of time, and you come up here and you present so confidently. That's really, really good. So regarding the work, I see lots of visuals, lots of charts, lots of numbers as well. So on that session where you had your card visual, and you mentioned something like 5 years, right? The 5 years count of years. So
Yeah.
That count of years was, I don't know whether to say duration. I don't know, but the title, it's something that okay, I can see the card, the slides are there, but having the slides are here it's not really working here because this is on PowerPoint, right? But then I think you added it so that we have an idea of you're making me make assumptions, right? So whenever you're presenting to stakeholders, you don't want to put them in that assumption state, right? You want to make sure what you are presenting is as clear as possible. They are not making assumptions the way I'm trying to make assumptions on the work. But yeah,
Okay.
this is an amazing work so far. Then the other session where I have like where I would say I need more clarity on would be the area where you showed, I think, death rates by different region, a bit different country. There's a
This one.
slide. No, not this one. The one with multiple colors. No, not
This one.
this. Not this. No, 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 no. There's one other one. But yeah, it was a good presentation overall. Like I like the confidence, all the work you guys put together. That was really, really amazing. So yeah, not this one. There was one I saw. I don't know if it was when we were talking about India, something.
Let me see.
Okay. So it's fine. It's fine. Just make sure whatever you are
This one.
putting together, yes, this one. So whatever you're putting together is as clear as possible, right? So here I can see that you have other, but previously when you showed the map visual, your analysis covered other countries, right? So I was wondering why you had to like pick just two in your analysis. I don't know if you mentioned that. So why you had to pick two, and why you had to like have all the splitters, color splitters to show. I get you're trying to show death rates by each of these life stages, which is cool, but I'm just trying to get the whole insight for this reason. But yeah, well done, please.
Thank you. Let me explain that part. The reason why it's,
Okay.
we're talking about India and United Kingdom. We're trying to compare developed country versus developing country, and we also imputed the life stages, to see the average death rate for each life stage. So that's why it's this way, but we're comparing developed versus developing country just to have a better idea on which of the life stage has the highest, and how we can now be able to advise stakeholders on what to do.
All right, that's beautiful. Well done to the team.
All right, thank you so much, Finaza. Olufemi, are you here? Let's have your feedback.
Yes, I'm here. Well done, team. Core success. Yeah, that was a very good presentation. I like the use of the year slicers. It's always very handy when you're trying to compare different periods within the metrics of data. I like the use of the trend analysis, obviously, because we had a lot of date information to go by. So I mean, that was what I was expecting anyways, to see a lot of trend analysis using the line charts. That was very good. And I think the map visual, when it comes to demographics, death rates, and topics like this, objectives like this, is also very, very handy. Within that map visual, we could already see exactly where when it's more help in terms of death rates at a glance. That was very good. Just a couple of things to add to what Chinaza had already mentioned. I think what might, this particular slide where you are, what might make it a bit more add a bit more clarity to it, would be if you're comparing the same indices across the selected countries that you've picked. Would have probably made it easy if you're comparing the UK across all of the life stages, and that's in direct comparison to all of the life stages in India, might probably give a bit more clarity to that. It's just a little bit of things to add. Excuse me. Right. So I think there was a couple of just one, actually, not a couple. There was one of the tables. It's just always nice to ensure that your tables have got the right labels on them. There was one that says gender and There were a couple of numbers, in there. It's always very nice to just double check to ensure that everything is as is showing what you wanted to show, basically. Yeah, that's just a couple of the little bits. Also, just like the previous feedback with the feedback for the previous teams, it's very easy to miss once you are once you're building your dashboard at first. But once you go back to it, just ensure that your axes are labeled correctly, or have labels, to show exactly what is being compared, what the listeners or the stakeholders are looking at. Also very, very important. And let's not be too, in terms of having a striking dashboard or visual, let's not be timid. You can have it very striking in terms of colors that immediately that touches the eye, in terms of what you're trying to display, what insight you're trying to give. In your card visual, I saw that those were, they were left, just with default colors. Don't be timid. You can't have it catchy. You can't have it striking. That's one of the perks of building dashboard. It might even be the most interesting part of it. You can have your dashboard striking. Doesn't always have to be white and blue or the default colors, but all around was a good presentation. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Olufemi. Kelvin, are you here?
Yes. Yeah, so like Olufemi and Chinaza earlier said, it's actually a very nice presentation. Kudos to the team, and yeah, everything they said is actually right regarding what the judges have said regarding the presentation. It was a nice presentation, and for me still a little bit of too much visuals. Yeah, so for me, I just feel it's a presentation, and the stakeholders, if kind of like it's like my company, and I give you like a job to do for me, and just give me a presentation, not a report. I just feel it should be brief. Like, just give me an overview. Where are we going? What's missing? What should we do? What's next? If maybe you don't like Olufemi said earlier, to the other presenters, if you don't have enough data, what's hindering you, like just an overview. Like, presentation shouldn't be too, I know it's because it's kind of like this presentation is like a report though, but normally, like, for the presentation it should just be how would I put it, like a summary, of the summary. We don't have to see the filters. We don't have to have, like, there are some slides that you guys use that the slide didn't have like a label like on top. Like, you just like a next slide, you're using it as a continuous slide from the other slide. So that's exactly, most of them I noticed that it didn't have like a label on top, because it's just a little bit too much slides. It should be like an overview, but really, really nice presentation. It's more in-depth than I expected for a presentation, because it's looking more like a report, because I understand it's like a final day and it should be like a report. But normally presentation should just be like, I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's how I kind of do now, because the stakeholders, they are in haste. You can just, everything should be in the visuals, in the dashboard. You can give them a link, you can upload it on your Power BI service, but the presentation should be sharp and smart. But otherwise, really, really nice presentation. The judges have everything the judges said was actually, most of them I did see it, and so no need talking about it again. Yeah, really nice presentation, and kudos to the team. And also, sorry, one more thing. I really did like the comparison between the developed and developing countries. That was really nice. Though like the presenter said, the measures that you use should be similar, or the indices should be similar, but the idea was really, really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah. So the indices should be similar. So it should be similar measures that you're using for both countries. But the idea of comparing them is actually really nice, and then because from this you can actually tell why developing countries are having more neonatal deaths than developed ones. So really nice idea, but it's just the comparison that the judges, I believe, they are talking about, not the idea. So it really makes sense. Kudos to the team. Yeah, nice presentation.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. Thank you so much, Vivian. Well done, Project Health and Care. Well done. Such an amazing presentation. So lastly, because of our time, let's move to the final team. That's the tech team. Coming, let me share. Sorry, let's take questions. Yeah, do we have questions for Project Health and Care team? before they go? Any question for the team that just present? Okay, Fidola. All right, Fidelis, you can ask your question.
I just wanted to say well done. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for the education. Honestly, I would say that this is actually a very scary topic. I was a bit terrified when you were presenting because I did not know so many infants die. That is a terrible thing. But anyways, I am just curious, right? I want to know when you were comparing the demography, which is the race, Africa and other continents, did you do the type of death, or should I say manner of death comparison between the state? Did you compare the type of death? What exactly causes this? Is it cancer? Is it like did you compare the type of death across this race or across this continent?
Are you talking about the geographical hotspots?
Yeah, the ones where you had the circles and all that, yeah.
Well, I mean, the comparison was more like the average death rate. So it could be for different factors. Let me just quickly share my screen so I could just, explain it much better. But I was only trying to say, we didn't go in depth to do what causes it. But in overview, it still has to do with the healthcare access. It still has to do with, if it's the neonates, because we are comparing the 1 to 4 years, right? It still has to do with the vaccination, because we know at that age, that's when they get vaccinated. So something related to that. So it still has to do with either the nutrition, what they eat, the sanitation, and also the access they have to healthcare at the time of after birth and, taking care of them within that age. So, but we did not go in depth to know, okay, this is the type of illness, right? That, they come down with, but we just, generalized it to say that it's still based on healthcare, nutrition, vaccination, and, sanitation as well.
Okay, thank you. Is this like a yearly death rate or a decade, like over a time period, or is it like yearly? This amount?
Between the 1970 to 2010. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Fidola. Any other question? All right, so we'll be moving to our next team. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. We're moving to the next team, our last team that we're presenting. Yes, the last team that we're presenting today, and we have the tech team. Yes, the tech team will be presenting, and the presentation will be done by Olumuyiwa. Olumuyiwa, are you on the call?
Yes, I am. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon. So they'll be presenting amazing team, amazing work, right? They were able to put up this project despite their numbers, right? They were still able to come up with this project, and I tell you, they had to do a lot of work, a lot of sleepless nights, right, before they can be able to come up with this. I'm super proud of what you are doing and this presentation. So over to you now, Muyiwa. You can take the floor.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Can we see my screen, please? Can we see my screen?
Yes. Yeah, we can see it.
All right. All right, thank you very much. It's nice. It's a pleasure or a privilege to be here. This is my first time of doing this kind of a presentation, and I want to say thank you to RKY for giving us this kind of a platform to be able to showcase our talents, what we have learned so far. So we are the tech team. And our name is the Diamond Analytics team. So we are here to present to you our findings from the project that has been given to us about digital behavior, trying to analyze phone usage pattern for product strategy. So information about Snaptis. Snaptis Digital Solution is a forward-thinking technology consultant that specializes in bridging the gap between complex data and actionable business strategy. So the name Snaptis itself is derived from Snaptis. Snaptis, the crucial connection point between neurons in the brain, reflecting in our core mission to be the vital link that connects to our clients' data-rich challenge with intelligent and data-driven solutions. So my team, our team comprises of Justice, Oluwafemi, Oyinye, Benga, Olumuyiwa, that's myself, Babatunde, and Babajide. So we have, in the course of my presentation, I'm going to cover introduction, what's the objective of this project that we are asked to do. Then we talked about the executive summary, user demographic, data and platform analysis, behavioral segmentation, spending and monetization insights, demographic, Power BI, business impact, and the likes. Introduction. So we are working with a major mobile technology company, and the product manager and marketing director wants a unified interactive Power BI dashboard to explore user phone user data. So they need to understand that is the user pattern, how does screen time, data usage, app usage vary by age, gender, and location. We also talks about the platform preference, which phone brand and operating system are most popular among different demographic groups. We also talked about the spending behavior. Also, how does e-commerce spend relates to social media time and other usage pattern. Then also talked about the service consumptions. What are the primary usage pattern? That is, among different age groups, how does this affect monthly recharge costs? Then we also looked at the geographical variations. How does phones usage differ between London, Birmingham, Manchester, and other locations? We move to the objective, and the objective of this project is to analyze key digital behavior metrics such as screen time, data usage, app usage, and spending pattern across different demographics, device type, and user segments by creating a Power BI dashboard and detailed reports. The product and marketing teams aims to, one, understand user engagement, that is, identify high engagement users. They'll also look at optimizing service offering, that is, align mobile plans with data, streaming, and gaming behavior. Analyzed platform preference. Also talked about identify revenue opportunities, that is, target high spending and high engagement users. Also talked about inform product development, that is such as we try to support app developers, manufacturers, and service providers with actionable insights. Then from there we move to the executive summary. So under here we have these reports. We tries to present an insight from the digital behavior compass project, which analyze phone usage patterns to support data-driven product and marketing decision for a major mobile technology company. So we try to examine by examining the user demographics, device preference, usage behavior, and the spending patterns. So with this, we are able to analyze the bridge. That is, we are able to analyze the bridges from the digital behavior data, which with actionable business strategy, aligning it closely with what Snapt's digital solutions mission is, which is turning complex data into clarity. And we are able to bring out, to summarize what we're able to from the data we have. We're able to summarize all the data into. We have the total number of total users as 17,686. The average age is 38 years. Then we have the operating system, which is between Android and iOS. We have gender representation, male and female, and others. We have average screen time to be 7 hours 32 minutes. We have average data usage as to be 25.41, and the average monthly recharge as 1,042 pounds monthly. Then from there we have the executive dashboard, which is the summary of the executive summary that I've just this is just a simple illustration representing it in a graphical form. So we have the total users and everything represent. Then we have the gender distribution across. We have from here we can see that the female has more. We have more female female are they are having more that is 33.7 let's say 34% of females have more have more in terms of gender distribution. In terms of gender distribution, we have more females using more of the phones than the male and others, followed by others, and male are the least. Then we have the distribution of users across different locations. Also, from the diagram, Leeds has more, which is 10.31%, and the least is Sheffield and Newcastle United. Both are having 9.61% each across. Then we also talked about the average monthly data usage by operating system, that is comparing both Android and iOS. That is which particular data is most often used. So we looking at the chart. We have more people using more of Android, which is 25.56. Then we also looked at the average daily screen time by the age group. That is which age group, and we from the chart will discover from the chart also we notice that more people between the bracket of between age 20 to 35 spend more time, which is more time of 40k in terms of when it comes to making more using more time or spending more time on the internet. Then we also talked about distribution between the operating system types. Then 50.5% more people use Android than the iOS, which is also shown in the percentage. That is 50% of people, both adult and use more of Android than the operating system. Then we talked about the user demographic also overview. So our analysis tries to examine the distribution across all the age group. We can, as I've said earlier, the female has a larger portion of 34%, followed by others 33%, and the least all is the male that has 32%. And across different locations, Bristol has the highest distribution of 10.29%, followed by Leeds with 10.24%, and the least is Newcastle with 9.69%. Also, we talked about device and platform. So here also, as I've said earlier, which I've also mentioned earlier in the course of that we have more of Androids. People tend to use more of Android phones than using iPhones. So this also demonstrates this also explains the reason why we have larger people using more of Androids, which is 50% of people are using more of the of Android phones than the iPhones. You talked about, we talked about also, which also, that this is part of the reason why younger users tends to prefer to, to prefer new smartphones brand, while older users choose brand. Then we also have we also talked about the user pattern analysis, where we talked about we use the data usage by streaming time, looking at comparing the screen time, comparing screen time, which varies similar by age group. We also look at we try to put it in a chart, to see how the user pattern is, which is what it's shown, and we see that more people stream, tends to stream more than the younger. Then we also talked about behavioral segmentation. From the world, we look here that the average gaming time and monthly, trying to compare the average gaming time and the monthly recharge together. So we notice from here, we discovered that the gaming time has 99%. That is, people had more time. They spend more time by recharging for them to be able to to do gaming, spend more time on the gaming time. That's why you have 99.76% of people have spending more time on gaming. Then we have the spending and monetization, where we also talked about the location that has the highest average e-commerce spend. So from the analysis of what we have done, we have been able to, Bristol has the highest e-commerce spend of 5.2%, 5.2k, followed by Edinburgh with 5.1, and the least is Newcastle and Manchester, both sharing 5,000. So these are the various the e-commerce spend varies by location and their height. Then we talked about also the demographic insights correlation, that is trying to look at the average number of apps installed by different age groups. So we from our analysis, we discovered that people within between the less than 20 install more apps. Also between more apps, also people between the age of 20 to 35, also these two categories spend more time they average a lot of installing apps on their phone compared to people from the age of 30 to 56 and 56 plus, because between that age of less than 20 and 20 to 25, this is where most of the people, the youth, these are the people that dominated this particular category, and they tend to be to use more apps. And then we have our summary that's trying to show what we have been doing, what we have done so far on our Power BI, to show that we try to show our summary metrics, what our user demographic, the data platform, user and the likes. And that also we also show we have the total user, 17,000, average age, average screen time, average data usage, and average monthly spent. Then the business, our from all what we have done so far. So the business impact is one, to improve understanding of user digital behavior, and secondly, we also that data-driven optimization of mobile plans and planning also should be also looking into. Then enhanced targeting for marketing campaigns. Also, this also should be looked into, so that all this, when all these are put into actions, it will go further to enhance the marketing campaign. Then we also looked at informed product and platform development decisions also. So the next steps is to review insight with business stakeholders, translate findings into product and marketing strategies. So then, as I said at the beginning, we would like to appreciate RQI for this platform, for bringing us to this platform to be able to showcase our talents, what to put into use, what we have learned so far in the course of this program right from the day one, and to put everything into practice, and to collaborate with other people and to show our experience, what we have learned. So we want to say thank you to RKY for this opportunity given, and we would like to say thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Olumuyiwa. Thank you so much. Such a insightful presentation. Thank you so much. So quickly, we'll get feedbacks from our judge. I'm starting with Kelvin. Kelvin, would like to have your feedback.
Yeah, hi Kemi. Yeah, it was a nice presentation. Though still a lot, still a lot for like a stakeholder to consume for me. Yeah, still a lot. There were some slides that were kind of like unnecessary, and there was one that I don't know. That was I think it's a gaming users show high engagement and recharge that he used. I think he used was it a pie chart he used there? So I think 99% was gaming, right? Yes, this slide, correct. So you said 99% was gaming. What's the 0 point something percent? What's that? Because in your legend, it's only gaming that's there.
Let me go to. Let me see. Trying to.
But it's fine though. That's one of the things that I spotted, and there were loads of visuals, and yeah. So sometimes it's like you were not absolutely carrying us along. I'm just like saying it clearly, like but it was a nice presentation. But sometimes I wasn't carried along like most part of it, and yeah, I think that's it. But overall, it's a nice presentation. It's not easy, like having to like work on something and present it. But I think we should kind of like reduce number of slides, like going forward, like especially for presentation. If it's reports, you can give them as much as you want, and also stakeholders, they don't mostly want to know how. They just want to know like what's the outcome, where are we going to, where are we moving to, what's like they kind of like give you business question to answer. So you just kind of like, so the presentation for stakeholders, mostly people that actually need reports is mostly your managers, your team members, but the stakeholders like the exec, the directors, they just want to kind of like see an overview of what's happening regarding based on what they gave you to like analyze. They just want to know what's the way forward. That's mostly what I feel presentation should be for, but not kind of like in the bar. Understand that today is for us kind of like show ourselves what we've worked on, which is really nice, and I really commend the what's it called, the hard work that you guys have put inside, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kelvin, for the feedback. Olufemi, your feedback.
Yeah. That was a good presentation. I think Kelvin did a lot of justice to the feedback. There are a couple of good things that I liked, which was the use of. I'm a big fan of sliders, just because using them gives you a drill down option insights into the data that you're working on, which was very good. I like the fact that you varied the use of visual. You didn't just stick to one of them. So there were a couple of pie chart, bar chart, which is very very good as well. Just a couple of things, and also this is for the presenter. Your effort to give us a really good presentation was very evident. So I really want to applaud the courage to go on and do that. And it can only get better as time goes on. So kudos to you. Well done. That must not have been easy. So very good job as well. Just a couple of things on the actual dashboard and the visuals itself. So again, let's not forget to add labels to the axis of the visual. It's very very important. And something I would have loved to see is looking at the objective, which is understanding the behavior of phone usage. I think the age band would have been differently scaled, just because I feel that there's a difference if in the age band of say 12, because phone usage now, I don't know what the actual age of phone usage, because the kids that I see from 9 years old around me here already have phones, and I would like to believe that their behavior might be different from someone of say 18, 20. So to put everything in one band might not be too insightful in terms of the objective. So I would have loved maybe a different band structure that categorizes, preteen into teenagers into adults, scaling say between 10 to 14 or and then 15 to 18, just to have a bit of more understanding, because you might have an overlapping might be missing out on overlapping insights in terms of those different age bands. So if you want to keep that band structure, give or take, in between 0 to 9 or 0 to 9 points gap, say instead of having, like for instance, where you have 20 to 35, 15 years in terms of behavior is a big gap. And there might be opportunity lost in gaining those insights as well. And also, I think the other thing that David mentioned is that particular pie chart, which I had as well. So there's no need to go back in there. And it's also good to be very careful in the choice of words. When you mention that the difference in the OS, is larger in terms of a bit of analytics. 0.5% higher might not be classified as significant. They might both be put in the same bucket. So you can very well just say there is not much difference between the users of OS and Android. Because like I said, 0.05 might not be classified as significant. So just like I said, these are just a couple of dotting of your I's, crossing your T's, just to make it a bit more easygoing for the people you are talking to, because they might not all be very well branded in all of this technicalities. So it's just to make it a bit easy for everyone while you're presenting. But again, very well done. I do applaud the presentation. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, Olufemi. Chinaza, you are next. Hello, can you hear me? Hi, can anyone hear me? All right.
Yes.
Olufemi, I feel you are done with your feedback.
I'm Kemi, I'm done.
All right, thank you. Chinasa, any feedback from you? Chinasa, are you here? Okay, so let's take question. I don't know, maybe Chinasa dropped off, but maybe before she comes, do we have questions for our tech team? Any question? Or okay, since we don't have question, all right.
My hand is.
Once again, is anybody trying to ask a question?
Yeah, I think there's a hands from
Okay.
Fidola.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Fidelis, you can go on.
First of all, okay, thank you. First of all, I want to say to Oluwamuyiwa that after this session, you should just go to LinkedIn or whatever social media platform you use and talk about this experience. I can tell that despite the fact that this was, I don't know, maybe your first time, you were able to start, and the most important part, you were able to finish the presentation, right? It was really nice to be on this journey with you and all that. But I was really particularly interested in this topic, right? Because I'm also in marketing, and I was hoping to see some particular insight about your data and and all that. And you mentioned the fact that females have a better screen time than males. And my question is, did your data reveal the reason why females have a better, or should I say a more larger screen time than their male counterparts? Did your data reveal that?
Based on the data we have that we analyzed, is from what we have analyzed. So is the information we have, and so we worked on it, and at the end it shows that more females do streaming, and does more in terms of going to do more of the screening, streaming and all. So that is what at the end of after our analysis and all, that is what it shows. So that's the reason why. It's not as if that we have it's what the data present to us after analyzing it, that it shows that more females does more screen time than the male.
Yeah. So I suppose this explains the reason why there are so many females on TikTok live, always screaming and all that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Fidelis. Thank you so much, Olumiwa. Thank you for the presentation. To to our amazing esteemed judges, thank you so much. So right about now, to all those who present the team, our data student, I'm super proud of you. So right now, quickly, I'll be sharing my screen back because I have few information that I don't want to pass across.
Sorry, to interrupt you.
Okay. All right.
My hand was up. So, I wanted to say a big thank you to this platform. I'm not on this cohort. I'm not with this group, but I'm with the group that is running presently. And I just wanted to say that this has been so helpful, because we got the link to join, and it's been very, 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 very insightful. And I've kind of learned quite a lot from this. I just wanted to find out, this presentation, would we have a link to have a replay on it? Will it be posted on anywhere for us to have a view of it?
Yes, it will. It will. It's going to be on our YouTube page, right? By Monday. We have to do some edits to it, but by Monday it will be up on RKY Careers YouTube page.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Ruth. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Thank you so much. You can see my screen. Present. Yeah. I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so quickly, I'll just move on with a few information I want to pass. And our students, they go from zero to hero, and here is why. So the first thing is that at RKY, we pride ourselves in like equipping the students with the knowledge that they need, right, in order to excel and to excel in the thriving job market. And the way the bootcamp is fashioned or curated is curated in a way that by the end of the bootcamp, we are sure, even, and there are many persons that join our bootcamp that have no idea, right? They don't have any prior idea to the course they are taking, but by the end, they are already like ready for the job market. Another thing is that we also have support that we give our students even after the bootcamp, right? Unlike other trainings that as immediately your training is um immediately you end your training, like there is no support that you get. But in RKY, you have support even after your boot camp. You have sessions, right, that you get access to interview prep. Even our alumni, sometimes when we have like our few short courses that we do have, they all have access to this even after the bootcamp. Then another reason also is the CV and LinkedIn optimization. Trust me, we do your LinkedIn. We also optimize your CV that at the end of that process, like your CV is literally job market ready, and you also get to even have feedbacks, because when we do the CV, you have feedbacks with we have feedbacks and you give us feedbacks and we effect it with the CV. And lastly, also is the interview prep session. Like we have special sessions for that where we have interview prep, we prep you on how to tackle questions in interview and what to say and what not to say during interview. So this way, we are really sure that by the end of the boot camp, you already gotten the knowledge you need to move from zero to hero. And then the good thing, and that's the beautiful thing about this, Fidelis was statement that he advised like you go on LinkedIn for to post on LinkedIn on what you do. And I advise everybody, all the participants that did their presentation today, please post it on your LinkedIn, post it on Facebook. These are example of students that had gone through the bootcamp and they see their dashboard that they made on the dashboard they created, and they posted on it. They posted on it on their LinkedIn. They posted about it on their Facebook, right? And those are the things that put you forward. You really never know who stumbles around your page, right? There are many persons that get, and social media is, most people get, a good number of people get opportunities from social media. You never know who is checking your social. You never know who would come across your page and say, oh, you work on this project, then you would be needed to on this particular project. So I advise each and everyone, even if you present or you did not present, like get to present, as long as your group presented, write a beautiful story about it, right? You can use the help of ChatGPT to come up with something. You can take screenshot of your dashboard and please post about it, right? On your socials. The why transition into tech at this point, we know that the tech industry, there is so much opportunity, right? There is so much opportunity, and why you should consider transitioning into tech is number one, high demand. There is always a demand for tech role. There is always demand for tech skill. So you cannot have tech skills and say, oh, you are not demanded. It's not possible. There is always a high demand for tech skills. And another reason is diverse field. Gone are the tech. When you hear tech, you would think maybe it's code or something like that. It has diverse field. There is the field for those that code. There are field for those that don't code, like project manager, business analyst. They are still considered a tech role, and yet you necessarily don't need code. So no matter your strength, no matter your weakness, your interest, there is always a field for you in the tech industry. Also, competitive salary. You cannot compare the salary you have as a tech person, right? You to every other industry. So there's competitive salary. There's also innovation and creativity. Like the fact that you get to come up with innovation, the fact that you get to solve problem. Take for instance the presentation we had today. One of the comment that somebody raised, that he never knew that people are dying like this. So but as a creative and innovative person, you get to come up with solutions, right, that will solve problems. So that's the beautiful thing about the tech industry. You also have flexibility and remote work. If there's any industry that really embrace remote work, it's definitely the tech industry, right? There are many people that they're in Nigeria and they have their jobs in the UK, even people in the UK that they're working in the US, all right? So there's this flexibility that comes with tech, that comes with some with the tech industry. They will also have global opportunity. As I said, when you have the needed skill, you are not limited, right? You are not limited. You can work from anywhere across the globe. Also continuous learning, and also visa sponsorship and global talent visa. See, there are some tech roles, right, that comes with visa sponsorship and global tech talent. Also getting into the NHS. Now the NHS is beyond the traditional healthcare roles, right? There are other roles in the healthcare in NHS that is not the traditional healthcare role, right? So there are administrative role in the NHS role. So there are administrative roles such as project management, human resources, right, and procurement specialists. Those are roles that they are part of the NHS job and they are not the traditional healthcare role. Even data analysts, right? They are data analysts. I think one of our judge, Olufemi, yes, he works like with and he has an NHS job. So as a data analyst, as a research analyst, you would there is always job in the NHS that your skill can fit into. We also even have legal and compliance experts, right? And then also, in this world, there's always, like with the current happenings, always AI. 80% of global business are adopting AI. And there's this saying that they'll say AI will not collect your job, but it is the person that knows how to use AI that would take your job. So that's where the world is going to. And because we know this, right, all our courses are AI enabled. All our courses are AI enabled, from data analysis, project management, compliance, digital marketing, scrum master, everything are AI enabled. And then, yeah, as I said, we have over 2005 success stories, that people that have gone through our bootcamp and have landed their job, including visa sponsorship roles, right? And then, yeah, I said it also. So these are some of this is Korede. She enrolled for the data analysis bootcamp in 2023, and she leveraged her previous experience in banking and customer care services, and now she's a technical report analyst, right? She took our digital analysis bootcamp, and then now she's a technical report analyst, right? Then still have other success stories, a lot of success stories. You can check our website, right? A we have we have a when you check our website, RKY Careers, there is this RKY Careers. You can check our success stories. You get to read them. These are more of our success story. Even on Trustpilot and Google Review, we have that. Then also our trainings, like as I said, part of the thing that comes with our training, right, even after registering for the training, is expert CV and LinkedIn optimization, interview prep, end-to-end project delivery, right? And if you would like cost some of this, if you want to individually cost these services that comes as a pack, they total to up to £2,000, right? They total up to £2,000. As I say again, these are few persons again on LinkedIn that have taken our bootcamp and they are able to do that, and now they are like they got a job after taking the boot camp. So yeah, so quickly, these are when the new boot camp will be starting. On the 21st of February, we have Microsoft. On the 28th, we have UK compliance. Then on the 7th of March, we have our project management and business analysis bootcamp starting. On the 7th of March, also, we have a data analysis and business intelligence coming up. Then on the 7th of March, we have our product management and agile and scrum also coming. And on the 14th of March, we are starting our digital marketing. And all these, they cost, but the initial price, right, for UK compliance is 599. For project management is also 599, and product manager is 450. Digital marketing is 450. But we are having a discount, right? That you'll be able to get this course for £400. Be able to get this for £400. And the beautiful thing also, you don't have to pay once. I think the customer service team are already dropping a link right on the group to, if you have information, right, for our Nigerian audience, there is a separate price for that. Yes, and as I said, you don't have to pay once. You can pay in installment in the period of 3 to 12 months. Yes, and you can use our payments platform that we use: Klarna, PayPal, ClearPay, right? And also, speaking about our complaint apply body, as we said, it's what we do at apply body is we apply for jobs. So after getting skill and you need to start applying for job, you can contact us at apply body. These are some of the positive feedbacks that we have gotten from people that have booked our services and we did apply job for them. We also have our business coaching in case you have an idea and you want to be able to start and scale you want to be able to start and scale a 6-figure business in the UK. I highly recommend that you look into taking our business coaching accelerator plan, and it's going to be taken by, it's always taken by the CEO herself. She'll be literally sharing on ideas on how to position yourself, the legal and compliance guidance that you need, the PR, how to scale the business into a 6-figure business in the UK. So yes, as I said, you can visit our Instagram, applybody.com, and you can send a DM. And we do NHS services, we do the job application plus any thing you really want. You can just message or send a DM to apply body, and we'll help you. We'll help you with job application, CV optimization, interview prep, everything you need. Then also we have an affiliate. So to those that have joined and you want to recommend this, bootcamp, you can sign where you earn per referral. So per referral you earn £50. So you can sign up to our affiliate program. You have a special link. If you have anybody that you want them to take the bootcamp, just send them the link. And once they use that link to pay, you get your commission. Yes, you can also follow our Limitless and Thriving podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Here you would get insights that will make you stand out as a professional. So yeah, thank you everyone for staying right to this call. It has been a very, very long day. Thank you so much for staying. As I said, for the replay, you'll be able to watch the replay of this program Monday on our YouTube, RKY Careers. So just go to RKY Careers on Monday. We'll have upload this data insight by then. So thank you everyone for staying to this time. I really, really, really appreciate. So do we have any other question before I call it a day? All right. Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much for those that presented, our esteemed judges. Thank you.
Sorry, Kenny. I think there's a hand here from Benny. I don't know if that's been long or it's just coming back.
I didn't see that. All right.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good
Can you hear me? Yeah, my name is
Yes, I can hear
Bimi.
you.
Yes, I was on during the presentation periods, and one of the things I noticed is the tools that were being used for the presentation, and I think one of the presenters emphasized on the fact that Python was not being taught in class, and I want to believe that one of the most popular tools for this is Python. I don't know, because I'm considering registering for the next cohort, but is making me have a kind of drift. So I just want probably more explanation on that. Thank you.
Hi, Gbemi. I would answer that. So Python is taught in class. The bootcamp is a 12-week course. You get to learn Excel, PowerPoint, Tableau, SQL, Power BI, and Python. Python is literally the last tool that you get to learn. Or you don't actually get to use it for the project, right? Or you learn it during the class.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Amy, for the question. Thank you so much, Oyi. Thank you, everyone. Let's all have a wonderful day ahead.